What's up, everybody? This is TJ from Pro Play Games. Here with Sean Collins from Pro Play Games. Say what's up to the camera,
What's up,
Sean.
guys? How you guys doing?
So we're going to be doing a deck profile on Sean's deck that he recently took to the MetaDeck Open 1K in Orlando. He actually did top 8 with this deck, went undefeated in Swiss, and he's calling this deck Bacon and Beef. It features Yveltal, Tauros, and Garbodor, actually. So I'm going to let Sean go ahead and take it away.
Alright, how you doing, guys? I recently competed up in the 1K MetaDeck Open. I appreciate MetaDeck for hosting the tournament. Cool stuff. It was a great tournament. There was 72 people there. A lot of good players. I chose the deck for the day. I chose Garbodor, Yveltal, Tauros. It's the deck I've been piloting since I've seen it. Added a few things in. It's done really well. So that's kind of why I went with the deck choice. Got a lot of good matchups. Shuts off things with items. Abilities are huge in this game, and getting that Garb off to lock down an entire deck tech just was awesome all day. So I'll go through some of the deck, some of the reasons for playing some of the cards, and some of the reasons I might want to take things out. So first off, I'll start with the Pokemon. Play the standard Fright Night Yveltal. Its ability, basically, no items for the active have any effect. So if there's a float stone on the opponent's Pokemon, he can't retreat. Surprisingly enough, I didn't use this at all, not once. I barely even benched it. It's probably going to get cut. Didn't need it, didn't really use it. EX Pokemon are still used. I saw a lot of more GX techs, a lot of Lapras, Vileplume, Tauros, Decidueye, tons of Decidueye decks. So probably going to cut that. That's the one card. I also played 2 copies of Trubbish. It's the stage 1 of Garbodor to evolve from. So obviously needed. Obviously play the evolution of Trubbish, which is Garbodor. Its ability basically locks out any Pokemon with abilities such as itself. So no Shaymins, no Rongaroos, no Hoopas, stuff like that. Pretty standard. Ran 2 copies of Shaymin. Pretty much staples in any deck. Gets the deck moving. I actually played in my feature match. If I didn't have Shaymin in the deck and I Ultra Balled, I wouldn't have had a hand, would have lost the game. So Shaymin is definitely needed. I played 2 copies of Tauros GX. There's no replacement for this card in this deck. It can return the Rage knockback, put out extra damage that it didn't have before. The Mad Bull GX, I used it all day. I even Shaymined, I Lysandered a Shaymin and used Mad Bull GX because I had 4 counters on it for the knockout. So all day it was useful. And I only chose to play 3 copies of Yveltal. Its main attack is Evil Ball. It does 20 more damage for each energy attached to the active and the opponent's Pokemon, plus 20 for the attack itself. I Wise Cyclone for 90, which moves an energy off, which is his second attack, onto a bench Pokemon. I use that all day as well. The only thing I ran into in the top 8, someone got off their Jolteon, donked a couple of my Yveltals, so that game was a little tough. But all day I was able to retreat back and forth from the bull into the bird, tack damage on back and forth, and kind of snipe it at free will. So those were the Pokemon lines right here. We'll go to the trainer supporter line. For those of you who are either new to the game or just started watching the channel for Pokemon, I know PPG hasn't done a lot of Pokemon content. There is a card in the game called the trainer card. And there's a subdivision called the supporter. You can only use 1 supporter. So I have trainer supporters coming at you next. This one's called Ninja Boy. I played 1 copy of that. Basically, let's say you have an Yveltal with some damage on it. What this card allows you to do is swap out the basic Pokemon in the active with any basic Pokemon from your deck, and it puts all damage and conditions and energies back on the one that you switch. So what you'll do is you'll Ninja Boy off a bird who has, let's say, 60 damage, 100 damage, and you Ninja Boy into the Tauros with damage, and you're able to use its Mad Bull GX attack, which does 30 more damage for each damage counter on it. Can wallop up to 200, 300 damage easily. So tech card in the deck was Ninja Boy, really useful. I used it once or twice. It could have been used more, I just didn't have the opportunity for it. Next one is Professor Kukui. New card come out in Sun and Moon. Literally an amazing card. Can't tell you how many times I sniped cards with this all day. You use it, it pluses 2 to your hand, it lets any attack for the next turn do a 20 damage. So if you're missing that 10, 20 damage for the knockout, well, there it is. Played 3 copies of N. N is a staple that's been in the game for quite a while now. It makes both players reshuffle their hand, back into their deck and draw according to prize card. So let's say you have one prize card left and your opponent ends you, you'll go down to 1 card. So did that a couple times to opponents today. They went down from 6 to 2 cards, hand locked them. Great card, staple. Also played 2 copies of Lysander, another staple in the meta. It's been around, I mean, for a little while now too. Lets you target any bench Pokemon and it drags it out to the active for the snipe, which I used all day. Finished games with it, won me games. Staple card must be. I also played 4 copies of Professor Sycamore. Professor Sycamore is your draw engine. Lets you pitch your hand to the discard and draw a fresh 7 cards. Card explains itself, needed in every deck. So those were the supporter trainers that I played. So the deck was pretty item heavy. I expected some Vileplume lock, which locks items from your hand. But evidently you kind of need all these cards. So the item cards, I played 2 copies of Parallel City. Parallel City is a stadium card in Pokemon. It's kind of like a field card in Yu-Gi-Oh! If anyone knows that. Basically what it does, it has 2 sides. You decide what side you play it on. The blue side basically lets the person who sided on only have 3 bench Pokemon at a time. The red side reduces, I think, fire, water, and electric damage. I think grass damage too,
Grass
if I remember.
as well, yeah.
Yeah, grass, fire, and water, no electric. So it reduces all those Pokemon types damage by 20. So it can be used against Volcanion, reduces his attack by 20. Any grass deck that's attacking reduces by 20, so really good card. Stadium War is a thing in Pokemon. Every deck usually plays a stadium card. Played 1 copy of Super Rod. I actually wasn't playing with this before the tournament, and I put it in right before, and it came in clutch. It lets you put any combination of basic energies or a basic Pokemon back into the deck. A lot of the times I'd grab 2 energies, and either a Pokemon I needed that I dropped or it got knocked out.
It's not only basic, it's any Pokemon.
Oh, it's any Pokemon?
Yeah.
Oh, it is any Pokemon. It's not basic Pokemon, excuse me. Yeah, it's any combination of any Pokemon and basic energies.
Yeah, it has to be basic energies.
I played 2 copies of Enhanced Hammer. I wasn't playing this as well. I teched it in for the weekend. I did use it quite often. Lets you target any special energy attached to any Pokemon, and it just drops it off of it. So, really good card. Stops the energy swarm. Makes plays longer for opponents to get out hard attacks. Played 2 copies of Trainer's Mail. I thought about playing more, maybe 1 more. It basically lets you search the top 4 cards of your deck and get any item or any trainer card to your hand, except itself. So, a couple games I didn't really have anything to run my hand. Play the Trainer's Mail. I searched the top 4. Ended up getting a Sycamore. Lets me drop my hand, draw 7. Played 3 copies of Floatstone. That's my retreat engine. Basically, in the game of Pokemon, retreat costs are on the Pokemon. They have a retreat cost. So, in order to get them from the active to the bench, you have to pay energies according to what it is. So for instance, I don't know if you can see, Yveltal has a 2-star energy retreat. So it has to have 2 energies that you have to discard from it to retreat it. So basically the effect of these, you can attach it to the Pokemon, its retreat becomes free. Another tool, same type of concept where you attach it to the Pokemon, except this one's effect, basic Pokemon gain 40 health. So if a Tauros GX has 180 health base, and this gets put on it, it's now sitting at 220 health, and it allows 10 extra attack on damage as well. Played 3 copies of Max Elixir. Max Elixir is a staple card. I'd say anything that really wants to ramp into an energy or set up an energy play. This lets you look at the top 6 cards of your deck and search any basic and attach it to a bench Pokemon. So, was able to set up, retreat a Pokemon, play Max Elixir, get an energy, play another energy, and have something set up to attack on turn 1. So it's a really useful card. I played 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball is another one of those cards that's been around for quite a while, staple in every deck. You discard 2 cards from your hand after playing it, and you can search any Pokemon in your deck, put it to your hand. So what you'll do is you'll try and drop your hand down a little bit, use an Ultra Ball, search for a Shaman. Shaman's abilities, you get to draw until you have 6. Then you can use a supporter to keep drawing cards. So it's a good engine, searches you out things. I search Garbodor all day to lock abilities. And the last copies for the items, of course, for Versus Seeker. Versus Seeker is another card that's kind of come in and out of the meta. It was way back, I forgot what format it was in, and it came back recently in the X and Y. Great card, allows you to basically get any supporter card back from your discard into your hand. So if you have a play set up for game and you want to snipe something but your Lysander's in the graveyard, you can Versus Seeker, retrieve the Lysander to your hand, and then use Lysander. Pretty potent card. I would recommend 4 in every deck. And the energy line was pretty simple. It really hasn't changed at all since regular Yveltal or Yveltal Garb. You play the basic 4 DCEs, double colorless energies. So basically what this provides is two energy. It's 2 blank energies, so anything with a star for an energy attack, this will cover that times 2. So really good card. Played in a lot of decks. And for the basic energies, I basically just played the good old 9 dark energies. Nothing too crazy with the energy lineup. But this was the deck I played in the open. It was definitely the right choice of the day. All my matchups it was great against. A couple of them were difficult. I played a Mega Mewtwo round 1. I was able to take that out. I played a Lapras Vileplume deck, which was a little tricky. I took that over. I ended up playing Daniel in round 3, I think, for the feature match. Yeah, Daniel Lopez. Great match, by the way. That came down to the wire. That was another Decidueye Tauros Plume. So overall, my matchups, Garbodor just came in too clutch to lock abilities, to shut down decks. I feel the composition of the deck overall went really well. Like I said, I think about cutting a couple things here and there, maybe adding copies of Trainer's Mail. Dropping the Yveltal, I definitely dropped this. Anyone playing the deck, honestly, you can try playing it. It does have its uses. Shaman's a thing in every deck. You can always snipe those, but its utility now is just, I'd rather play something else, to be honest. Another Pokemon, maybe. This was the deck. If you guys had any questions, it did go undefeated in Swiss. I did ID 2 rounds in the last round, but all the other rounds undefeated. So the top 8, unfortunately, I got kind of surprised by Jolteon. Took out a couple of Yveltals, put me in a bad spot. But overall, placed 7th, so I'm really happy. Shout out to PPG, everyone at the shop. Happy I could place for the event, and we'll have another play here coming soon for you guys.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Thank you very much. We'll have more content coming out probably later on this week. Make sure to stay tuned.